Can you come up in one line? We want to take some photos.
Well, thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies, son of one of the famous Maxi taxi owners and drivers. And a very warm welcome here this evening. And this is my second year at the Maxi Taxi Ball. And I must say, Mr. Hewitt mentioned something there just now about being professional and being business people. When I attended my first event last year, I was most impressed with the organization and the whole way the evening went. And tonight is no different. So I want to really and truly congratulate the association on doing that. So Mr. Hewitt, Mr. Philip, Mr. Leung, 60-year-old Leung. You don't find he looks a lot less than 60. When you see that, he must have been servicing properly every month, changing oil and doing whatever. Maybe I shouldn't go there. Mr. Piggott, of course, from the Ministry of Works. Ladies and gentlemen, I recognize one thing this evening, that in the Maxi Taxi business, everybody is very swift, that there's no long speeches, and I am not going to break that tradition, and therefore I'll be very short and sweet. When I met the Maxi Taxi Association, September would have been a year in the job as minister. And again, they came to me, Mr. Philip, Mr. Hewitt came to me, and I was overwhelmed and really and truly very, very impressed with the professionalism that they showed. You know, people think of Maxi Taxi drivers as Maxi Taxi drivers. And they don't understand that a Maxi Taxi driver is an investor to the tune of $600,000, which is not small change in any business. That's good money. That's good, solid money that people have invested. The other thing I learned is that the Maxi Taxi drivers move nearly 95% of the people who use taxi transport or paid transport in this country. So without a doubt that you all represent an absolutely key institution that really and truly provides an extremely important and reliable service to Trinidad and Tobago. And it's something that you should be very proud of. This is not just Maxi Taxi. This is the business of transport. This is transporting people. A couple of things that have happened in the last year, and I know Mr. Philip and Mr. Hewitt are going to say, we heard that before, and you're not moving fast enough. And I understand that maybe we are not moving fast enough, or as fast as they would like to think that we should be moving. But some of the issues regarding Maxi Taxis have been there for some time, some of it a long time, more than a decade, and really and truly it takes a little time it takes time sometimes to sort things out. But the good news is, I think between now and the first quarter of next year, you're going to see the results of a lot of hard work that has happened over however many years. And I think the Maxi Taxi industry is celebrating this year 35 years. It's their 35th anniversary this year. And therefore, it is my intention as the Minister of Transport to ensure that before I demit office, whenever that is going to be, that I am going to make it my business that all the issues regarding Maxi Taxis are going to be settled. We have in this year's budget, and this is public knowledge, we have in this year's budget a $35 million allocation for the rebate on the Maxi Taxis, traveling on the PBR. The Maxi Taxi tribunal that has been established, and I know we have not had much success with it, but that is going to be reinstated, the Maxi Taxi Tribunal, to deal with issues of the Maxi Taxis. And of course, we go down to many other issues. We have the Transit Authority. Last year, Mr. Hewitt, I'm pretty sure that is where he mentioned it. about where is the transit authority, and we have cabinet approval to establish that transit authority. And basically, the transit authority will look at all things regarding public transport, whether it is maxi taxis, taxis, PTSC, whatever. And that is the ferries, the water taxis, anywhere there's public transport, the transit authority will be the overarching umbrella body for that. And it will be a good thing, because what Trinidad and Tobago needs is an integrated transit system. And that is what we're heading to. Where when you can get off of one mode of transport, you don't have to walk half a mile to go and pick up another mode of transport. That all transport will be concentrated in hubs. So whether you're using the maxi taxis, whether you're using the ferries, the water taxi, whether you're using PTSC, it doesn't matter. That you will be able to transit from one form of transport to another form. Because of course, the maxis can't provide transport to everywhere. PTSC can't do it for everywhere. Of course, the water taxis is a whole different mode of transport. The Tobago ferries is a whole different mode of transport. And then, of course, there's the air bridge to and from Tobago. So what we're looking at is an integrated transit system using, and I must say, the maxi taxi system, you hear people speaking about public-private partnerships. And you've heard that maybe for a long, long while. The first public-private partnership that I know of is the maxi taxi business, of where you have private owners operating a transit system sort of integrated into a public system. And when I say sort of, I'm talking about, for instance, Citygate. And I'm talking about what happens on the PBR. And yes, we're going to fix the Citygate. In fact, we have architects right now looking at what would be the mix of public transport, meaning PTSC, and Citygate. How is that going to integrate? How is it going to work? And we have to come up with a good solution for that. And the good solution means everybody goes home smiling. Not that PTSC has the advantage over the maxis, or the maxis have any advantage over PTSC, because both of them have to work in conjunction with each other. So, ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you that the Citygate issue is going to be dealt with. The greening of the PBR is also going to be dealt with. Right now, PTSC, I know you don't want to hear too much about PTSC, but we have our 35 new CNG buses that are here, and we hope to see that hundreds of maxi taxis are going to be fueled with CNG, which is going to be to the benefit of the country as a whole. We talk about the issues of the white band maxis. All right, now the white band maxis might not only be white band now, they might be blue band. I've seen them in multicolor band. All right, but the fact is that we have to find a solution for that. And I don't know what the exact solution. I know Mr. Phillips and Mr. Hewitt, they have some solutions, but these are things that we have to deal with, and we have to take the bull by the horns and deal with it. We cannot just let that go like that. So without a doubt, all of these are issues that we are in fact going to be dealing with. So, ladies and gentlemen, the maxi taxi business is in very good health. It is a good business to be in. And obviously, after 35 years, to see people coming up here and getting awards for long service is quite remarkable. I want to say a couple of things. I intend doing a history of the transit system in Trinidad and Tobago. I think it is something that should be recorded, whether it is from the island steamers that used to leave Port of Spain and go right around to Moruga and Mayaro or Guaya, to the train system, to the PH drivers, not PH drivers, the regular route taxi drivers. Well, PH will be part of it also. But then there's the maxis, and I want to know, where is the first maxi that was ever registered in Trinidad and Tobago? If that maxi is still somewhere, it might be on blocks, it might be parked up in a garage somewhere, but is that first maxi taxi, I understand it's a gentleman from Morva who actually had that registration, is that maxi taxi somewhere that we could actually buy from the owner to have as part of a transit museum? And if it's not the first, Mr. Hewitt tells me that the first one was a red band maxi, and then everything else was yellow band. Well, the next 2 or 3 were yellow band. But if we can get that, and I would really appreciate help with that. The other thing I would love to see is when we have the maxi taxi ball and award ceremony next year, that we start registering the sobriquets of the maxis. That is so much part of Trinidad and Tobago history. Which is the Maxi that you normally take? You don't know the name of the driver, but you know the sobriquet. Whether it's Cassie, whether it is, give me a good one now. Fast and slow. Or, who? Zion Train. All right? These are very, very important parts of our history. And to know why did he call it Zion Train? Or what is Hewitt's own? No, Hewitt, you say his name is Prezi. But you don't want to put Prezi on the Maxi because he might get voted out next year. And then he would have to put ex-Prezi. All right? But really, no, but jokes aside, this is something that I would like to see because, again, you are very much part and parcel of the history of Trinidad and Tobago, and you should be very proud of that. And I think you need to give yourself a round of applause for that. So, again, I think between now and March, the meetings that we're going to have with your association, and hats off to the presidents of the various associations. The people that you have entrusted the work for the Maxi Taxis Association, I must tell you, these people are professional people. I have all the time in the world for them. There's no issue with any time they want to have a meeting. I really and truly appreciate the contribution that they make to the issues surrounding transport in Trinidad and Tobago. So, Mr. Hewitt, Mr. Phillip, all others, everybody here present, I want to, on behalf of the government of Trinidad and Tobago, the Ministry of Transport, myself, my wife, my family, a very, very warm and happy Christmas, and we look forward to an absolutely brilliant and wonderful 2015. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister Cadiz, for your ministry and your interest in the industry, in the association.